So we've got just a couple minutes left in this social media sprint. Let's kind of go back to just people's questions. Go ahead and drop them in the chat area. So if we pause with Instagram and kind of look at social media in general, Sam, let's start with you before we take questions. What would you say are big takeaways you want people to take away from this sprint?
I would say the biggest takeaway is to find out where your ideal client is most active and then focus on that social media platform. Like you said earlier, you don't need to be active on all of them, like rather perfect one or two than be active on all of them. But if you're going to be active on a platform, then try to make use of kind of all the benefits that it gives you. So really focus on optimizing that platform to its full. I would say like something that's trending a lot with social media these days is like things like Facebook Lives and stories on Instagram. So try, even though it may take you out of your comfort zone, try those things. The more you kind of engage with your audience, the better. And then also focus on attracting genuine followers as opposed to just trying to attract as many followers as you can. Because obviously the more like genuine and high quality they are, the more they'll engage with you in the long run. Yeah,
Nathan has a really good question that I think goes across all social media. And he said there's a lot of talk about infusing kind of personality into your social media. And he says, so if I like coffee, I put a picture of that on my Facebook page. If I like nature, kind of a cool picture of nature, do I that? The design of a car, how does that help me market my practice? He says, for example, it seems unlikely a couple will work with me because I like the look of a pub I'm in, or share that I'm having fun getting a new stand-up desk for my office. I'll start with this one. Nathan, I would actually say that if I saw that you were getting a new stand-up desk for your office, like I have a stand-up desk and I love it. And if I make assumptions about people if they have a stand-up desk. So they probably value wellness. They don't want to sit in a chair all day. They want to kind of move a little bit. There are certain assumptions I would make about you as a person based on you just having a stand-up desk. And so does that mean that because you have a stand-up desk and I saw that on Instagram that I'm going to like make a decision to work with you? No, but it kind of puts a coin into the decision-making towards Nathan. So for example, I wanted to go see a therapist locally to work on some of my own internal stuff. And I saw that he really focuses on mindfulness and Buddhist philosophy. And that's something that I've been studying a lot lately. And I thought, well, this is a chance to work with someone that's been teaching meditation for 20 years. I'm really interested in working with him. And that was something that, if I then looked at his Instagram and saw some stuff that had to do with meditation and had to do with being in nature and walking his dog, and like he and I have talked, and he's renovating this really cool old RV kind of thing. And like that's cool stuff that I feel like his personality aligns with mine. The final decision is, does he have the expertise to help me make the progress I want to make? But all these other things kind of add color to that picture. And so I would say that you don't want to overdo it. Like we talked about, the cat lady kind of therapist. Yeah, you don't want to overdo it. But to infuse some of that in there from a certain lens, I think kind of makes you more of a real person that someone wants to work with. Sam, what do you see with the consulting clients that you work with or people that you help their social media with?
Yeah, I definitely think it's important, especially when you're engaging on social media. I think that attending counseling can be intimidating for a lot of people. And I think if they kind of see that you're a real person too, that you have interests that they can relate to, it makes them more comfortable from the get-go to kind of contact you and share their personal information with you. And I think just these days, it's just become the norm that rather than just kind of researching therapists, for example, and clicking through to their website and contacting them, especially something as personal as a therapist, people are going to look onto your social media platforms to see what kind of person you are. Because I think therapy is a very personal thing. So you're not going to want to go to someone that you don't necessarily click with. And they're going to get that vibe from your social media accounts.
Yeah, one thing we didn't cover that Kristen just asked is with Instagram, how do you get more followers?
So I would say the easiest way is to use hashtags, but use them as a comment as opposed to in your description. They're more easier to discover that way. So really kind of dig into the keywords around your ideal client or whatever kind of therapy it is that you do, and make use of those hashtags, as many as possible, in each and every post in the comment. That's kind of the easiest way to get followers on Instagram, and followers that are going to be interested in what you're offering. And then also go to the search function and type in hashtags there and follow relevant people and take part in conversations. And then there is also the paid option with the business account. So if you are wanting to, like, I would say first take a look at your analytics and see what posts are doing well organically. And then if you want to boost those, put a bit of spend behind it, then you'll also get more followers through that.
Great question. Well, when it comes to social media, I think it's something that helps build kind of your bedrock, but you really want to be careful about not getting sucked in. Oftentimes we hear people talk about when they go on Facebook to work on their business page, they then kind of move into their personal and all these other things. I set timers all the time. Probably 3 times today I've set timers where I know that I have half an hour to work on something before my next thing. I set a timer, I dive in. Those sprints are just how I kind of live my business life to get a lot done in a short period of time. So if you are going to spend time on social media, I would highly recommend you set a timer. You have very clear objectives of what you want to do, that you're going to go on, you're going to do a Facebook Live. You're going to go on, you're going to create some content, or you're going to go on, you're going to schedule out all of these posts in Facebook. We have a clear objective that you're going to get done in a certain period of time. When you just kind of go onto Twitter and go onto Instagram, you're probably not going to be as efficient as a business owner as when you go on with a clear purpose. Now, there are times that you may say, okay, I really like Instagram. You know, I just went camping. I want to send these cool pictures out there. That's not really the strategy side. That's just your personality side. And that's fine too. But if you're going to work on your business, I'd say make sure you have those clear objectives in that set timeline. Sam, what kind of quick takeaways would you have for people for social media as we wrap this thing up?
Yeah, I think make use of the tools out there. So as you say, make use of the scheduling tool that makes it really easy. Then you can literally set aside some time beginning of the month and you can kind of have your post sorted for the rest of the month, and then you can just focus on engagement from there. And have fun with it. As much as it's to promote your business and as much as your marketing material kind of needs to look good, you can still have fun with it. You can still include a cat meme every now and then. And just enjoy engaging with your audience.
Awesome. Well, Sam, thanks so much for doing this with me.
Cool. Pleasure.